My spirit rejoices in God, my Savior, and I rejoice for His eternal life. I ask every Filipino family, please turn to Jesus.
A friendly reminder from the Philippine Christian fan-made broadcasters.
You are listening to Cool FM, live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at 6.
Good evening and welcome to Cool News at 6. I'm Carlo. Let's get into the headlines for this hour. Will the third day of reckoning for agents of the Duterte administration's bloody drug war come next month? Retired Supreme Court Justice Antonio Carpio said on Tuesday night that the investigation of the International Criminal Court's prosecutor into the Bureau campaign against illegal drugs had reached a pivotal point. I think the day of reckoning is coming closer because what I'm hearing is that a warrant of arrest will be issued by the ICC sometime in September. Carpio said in an interview on the vlog of political analyst and Inquirer columnist Richard Heydarian. Carpio, however, did not say who his sources were. Hadrian said he received similar information about the timeline when he recently visited the Hague in the Netherlands, where the International Tribunal is based. That was the question I had in the Hague the other month. I know it's gonna come later this year, but tell me before filing of the certificate of candidacy or not. And somehow I got similar answers, he said. The period of filing of certificate of candidacy for aspirants in the 2025 elections has been set off from October 1 to October 8, based on the Commission on Elections calendar of activities. Cristina Conti, one of the lawyers representing the families of drug war victims, cautioned against any public announcements regarding the possible issuance of arrest warrants against the identified suspects in the ICC prosecutor's investigation. There's sensitivity in the actual arrest. It's better to not announce the issuance so that there will be an element of surprise, Conti told the Inquirer, refusing to confirm or deny the supposed schedule of arrest. Former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV, one of the parties who filed a complaint in the ICC in connection with the drug war killings, earlier told the Inquirer he was certain that arrest warrants would be released within the year. The investigation stemmed from allegations that former President Rodrigo Duterte and his lieutenants committed crimes against humanity by waging a ruthless war on drugs, both as the country's chief executive and as mayor of Davao City. The drug war killed some 6,000 people, but based on official data, but rights watchdogs placed the actual number at more than 20,000, citing underreporting of falsified records. In July, Trillanes made public a supposedly confidential document from the ICC's Office of the Prosecutor, tagging as suspects former Philippine National Police Chief and now Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, retired PNP Chief Oscar Albayade, former Criminal Investigation and Detection Group Chief Romeo Caramat Jr., former National Police Commission Chief Aldebrado Leonardo, and former PNP Chief Intelligence Officer Elazar Mata. Soldier General Merado Guerrero later confirmed that his office was having communications with the ICC, saying the government would not assist them in interviewing the police officials but would not stop them from doing so. Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Miramula also promised not to block the International Criminal Police Investigation, organization or Interpol from arresting anyone on the ICC's behalf. We are not in the business of blocking any movement at Interpol, he said. Conti said such statements already constituted official acknowledgement that the ICC investigation would proceed even without the government's assistance. But she added that while the drug war victims appreciate the minimum commitment expressed by the incumbent administration, they still hope that President Marcos would reverse his declared policy of disengagement. It would certainly be more favorable if the ICC secures full cooperation from the Philippines, given the unreasonable positions and even promises of pardons from certain persons likely being considered for trial by the court, Conti told the Inquirer. Manila Water's facility upgrade project at the Balara Treatment Plant 2 supports the company's mission of providing top quality water to its growing customer base while augmenting the safety features of the facility for its employees. The project includes a complete reconstruction of the supervisory control and data acquisition room, featuring upgraded SCADA workstation equipment. The upgraded SCADA workstation will reinforce the treatment plant's operational efficiency in supplying safe drinking water to its customers. Excuse me again. As part of addressing its present and future automation needs, the facility upgrade guarantees a reliable and efficient power supply, which includes the replacement of outdated electrical components like airflow meters and pressure switches, and installation of a new main distribution panel, molded case circuit breaker, transformer, electrical lights, and lighting fixtures. These zone concessionaire also renovated office spaces with modern lighting fixtures and furniture installed in both the office and pantry, creating a more functional work area. A new air conditioning and ventilation system was also put in place to improve air quality and provide a comfortable work environment. The PTP2 enhancements, especially the reconstruction of the SCADA room, are part of the company's efforts in securing a reliable water service, as well as safeguarding the health of our customers. As we all know, the Balara Treatment Plant 2 has been servicing Metro Manila since the late 50s. These upgrades will ensure its operability in the years to come, Manila Water Corporate Communication Affairs Group Director Jared Sevilla said. One of two of the company's water treatment plants in Quezon City, the Balara Treatment Plant 2, has been operational since 1958. It has a treatment capacity of 1,130 million liters per day. By implementing these facility improvements, Manila Water future-proofs BTP2 and ensures a continuous supply of clean and potable water to its customers, while also ensuring the safety and well-being of its workforce. Senator Robin Hood Padilla believes that sexual harassment perpetrated by employers against employees is heavier than when it occurs on employers. In a committee hearing on public information and mass media on Thursday, against employees is heavier than panel head Badilla stressed that when an employee harasses their employee, there is a power play involved which makes it heavier. For me, sexual harassment can't be compared to an employee harassing their employer. It's a different case when the employer harasses their employee because there's a power play involved. There's a predator aspect to it. That's different. I'm angry because of that. Padilla said. How is it when the employee is attracted to the employer? Can you call that sexual harassment even when the employee does not have power over the employer? They didn't mean to, but someone was so pretty that they got whistled at. What would you call that? He added. However, Department of Labor and Employment Undersecretary Banjo Santos Benavides said that it is still considered sexual harassment and the crime remains the same no matter who commits it. Instead, Benavides noted that the height of the case depends on the penalty and the place where the overt act of harassment was done. Attorney Lorna Caputan echoed this, stating that the legal process for filing cases does not change whether the complainant is an employee or an employer. She added that in reality, the notion of a boss filing a case against their people for sexual harassment does not happen. But Padilla insisted that the intensity between the two cases is different. But in my understanding, sorry, they seem different. Employers harassing their employees seems worse, he said. However, Benavides reiterated that the law treats all forms of sexual harassment equally based on the Safe Space Act, Republic Act 11313. But in this policy, everyone is equal. Anyone can be a victim of sexual harassment, he said. Consensual sex between married partners was at the center of the Senate's Thursday hearing, leading Senator Robin Padilla to ask, what if the husband is in the mood for sex, but if the wife refuses? What will happen? Padilla, who heads the Chambers panel on public information and mass media, is leading a probe into the policies of television networks and audience management agencies in relation to complaints of abuse and harassment. At the end of Padilla's paddling was attorney Lorna Caputan of Capunan and Castillo's office. For example, of course, you cannot remove disbelief among married partners, especially for us, me, that you have sexual rights to your partner. So, for example, you can't choose the time when you'll be in heat. So, what if your wife doesn't want to? Wouldn't there be any way to satisfy the husband? What will happen? Should we just resort to adultery? That is another case, Padilla said. Kabunana said it's no longer illegal but more of a social issue. But Padilla continued to press. For example, the guy is insisting, what legal action should he take? Can he ask his partner to help him? If it's in the Tagalog, it might sound off. What would the woman do? Cordelia said. Kapunan said there are times when a woman's no is not arbitrary. She cited instances where husbands are drunk and under the influence of drugs, leading women to turn down the invitations of their partners. Padilla said he was not talking about drunk husbands, clarifying that he is pertaining to partners who are inviting their wives out of the pure urge. Maybe people will agree with me when I say that men's sexual urges are different. It's really there. So what if your partner is there to serve you but she doesn't want to? What can I say to her? Look for bebe? What's this? He said. Under constantly or just pray. Watch some Netflix or Korean telenovela. Kapunan also emphasized that it is important for married partners to take note of the importance of mutual respect. If your spouse refuses, whether valid or not, let's respect the decision of our wife or husband in that case, she said. In the end, she corrected Padilla's earlier statement, noting that it is not the obligation of a wife to serve the husband. Padilla clarified that he was only citing what was perceived as normal and what was instilled among most. No, but isn't that what perceived as normal? That was instilled in us, he said. All right. With that, it is now 6:12 in the evening, and Cool News at 6. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Singapore President Tharman Shanmugaratnam on Thursday arrived in Malacanan for a bilateral meeting with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Shanmugaratnam is in the country with his wife, First Lady Jan Yumiko Itogi Shanmugaratnam, for a 3-day stay visit. Marcos, First Lady Lisa Arianata Marcos, and members of the cabinet welcomed Shanmugaratnam and his wife upon their arrival at the palace. The Presidential Communications Office previously said that Marcos intends to reaffirm the Philippine government's commitment to strengthening collaboration with Singapore in his meeting with Shanmugaratnam. Upon receiving the arrival honors and the signing of the guestbook in Malacanan Palace, Marcos and Shanmugaratnam will partake in a bilateral meeting and are expected to tackle cooperation on energy and healthcare. They are also expected to witness the signing of a memorandum of understanding involving the recruitment of Filipino healthcare workers and collaborations on climate financing. Prior to arriving at the Malacanan Palace, Shanmugaratnam attended a well-laying ceremony at the Rizal Monument in Rizal Park, Manila. Former Caloocan City Representative Edgar Erix is facing a complaint for allegedly violating the Omnibus Election Code. The complaint was filed on Thursday at the Commission on Elections Comelec Law Department by lawyer Richard Rosales, the legal counsel of petitioners Angelo Benjamin Balabat and Raymond Salipot. A joint complaint affidavit was filed against former Congressman Edgar Erix. So the complaint is about an alleged violation of Section 261, subsection C11 of the Omnibus Election Code, Rosales said in an abashed interview. Section 261, subsection C11 of the Omnibus Election Code prohibits the propagation of false and alarming information with the intent to disrupt the election process and or cause confusion among voters. Rosales said the subject of the complaint is Eric's statement, which the complainants think are false and alarming. Like, for example, he was saying we are guinea pigs of Miro Systems Co. Ltd, the new electronic voting systems provider of Comelec, and then he was also saying that the contract entered into by Comelec with Miro is a big scam, he explained. There are also unverified allegations of corruption and bribery against particular individuals. He didn't name anyone initially, but he was referring to Comelec Chairman George Garcia. Rosales also noted that the complainants are private individuals and are not politicians. On April 18, Eris asked the Supreme Court to stop the Comelec from implementing its 17.9 billion peso automated election system contract with South Korea's Miro Systems Co. Ltd. And the partners for the 2025 midterm polls. He claimed that the contract violates Republic Act 7369 or the automated election law, specifically the provisions on bidding procedures and the use of prototype machines during elections. We will become guinea pigs. It is against the law, Eric said. After more than a month, China Coast Guard's so-called monster ship left the vicinity of Escoda Sabina Shoal in the West Philippine Sea, but it was replaced by a smaller vessel, the Philippine Coast Guard said on Thursday. Commander J. Tarela, PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, said the CCG vessel with hull number 5901 left the shoal's vicinity on August 10. The CCG's gigantic patrol cutter, which is the largest Coast Guard vessel in the world at 165 meters long and 22 meters wide, had been deployed to Escoda Shoal on July 3. However, Tarela said it was replaced by a 135-meter CCG vessel with hull number 5903. The CCG-303, registered by the People's Republic of China on the Western and Central Pacific Fisheries Commission, a multinational fisheries management organization in the Pacific Ocean, is supposed to help combat illegal, unreported, or unregulated fishing. However, since its arrival at Escoda Shoal to replace the CCG-5901, its personnel, utilized rigged inflatable boats, do not inspect the Chinese maritime military, which is gathered within the shoal for compliance with fishery laws, Torella said in a statement. Instead of conducting inspections, they interacted with the crew of the CMM as if they were familiar acquaintances, sharing meals together, Torella pointed out. Torella also noted that no former boarding procedures were carried out by the personnel of the CCG ship to question the CMM's intentions, despite their prolonged presence without any signs of fishing. This clearly indicates that the Chinese maritime military is recognized by the Chinese Coast Guard as an integral part of their maritime operations, aiding in encroaching upon the exclusive economic zones of other countries throughout the South China Sea, Torella said. This situation highlights that the CCG should not be entrusted with the responsibilities of the WCPFC to board fishing vessels, he further said. The PRC's aim appeared to be the innovative legitimization of its unlawful presence and activities in the West Philippine Sea, disguised under the pretense of maritime law enforcement. Beijing's deployment in the area comes as Manila maintains a persistent presence in Sabina Shoal. PRP Teresa Mapangua, a 97-meter multi-role response vessel, has been deployed in Sabina Shoal since April 16 to become the longest deployed PCD asset in the West Philippine Sea following suspected reclamation activities around the shoal. And good news! The Bangko Sentro ng Pilipinas on Thursday cut its policy rate by 25 basis points, kicking off an easing cycle amid expectations of suffer inflation. The decision of the Monetary Board, the highest policy-making body of the PSP, reduced the key rate to 6.25%. The last time that the central bank got the policy rate was way back on November 19, 2020, when the pandemic-induced recession prompted the BSP to bring down borrowing costs to a record low. And now let's get into the showbiz happenings. Broadway superstar Leah Salonga backed up Glenn Apuli, member of P-pop girl group Beanie, after the latter lamented on social media about fans who went to the room just to ask for photos. The Miss Saigon star underscored the importance of respecting boundaries, as members of Beanie are also humans who do not deserve the fans' self-entitlement. Say it with me, respect boundaries, said Salonga in her caption alongside a screenshot of Apuli's post. Hate me all you want for beating the drum loudly about this. I will gladly be the villain in your story, but the entitlement and disrespect are just too much. The ladies of beating are human beings, continued the tier actress. And Taylor Swift will return to the stage in London on Thursday, August 15 to end the European leg of her Eras tour a week after her Vienna concerts were cancelled due to a suicide attack plot. Around 90,000 fans will again pack London's Wembley Stadium for the first date in a 5-day run, with additional ticket checks and restrictions in place. Last week, all three of the American megastars' shows in the Israeli capital were cancelled following the discovery of an Islamic State-inspired plan to launch an attack using explosives and knives. 3 alleged Islamic State sympathizers have been arrested on charges of plotting the atrocity, which was escorted with the help of U.S. intelligence. London's Metropolitan Police has said there was nothing to indicate that the matters being investigated by the Austrian authorities will have an impact on upcoming events here in London. The force was working closely with venue security teams and other partners to ensure there are appropriate security and policing plans in place, a police spokesperson said in a statement. Fans have been warned on Wembley's website to expect additional ticket checks around the stadium. And that is it for Cool News at 6. As always, you can get in touch with us at tvhthephilippines.news@gmail.com. And join us again for another round of headlines later with Cool News Prime Time at 9 in the evening. Until then, I'm Cairo. Good evening.